Let's talk about it.
Alright, so this isn't really going to be a vlog like the traditional sense. It's more just I have to both deliver and try to come to terms with this bad news. But it's October 15th, and sometime between October 10th, the night of October 10th, and the early morning of October 11th, Monday, some scumbags stole my R6. If you guys are just watching this, you know, this may not pertain to you, but if you've been watching me for long enough, you'll know that that R6 was my dream bike. In that color scheme, like, I was lucky to find that color scheme, but I wanted an R6 the second I laid eyes on one. I had a Kawasaki ZX6R. I sold it to get that R6. I busted my ass to find and afford that R6. I worked hours and hours, like 6 days a week for months, 50 plus hour weeks of just my job, and also like side gigs like photography and video shoots and everything, just to get my hands on that bike. And pretty much everything aligned where I had enough money, and I had someone who wanted to buy my ZX6R, and I had someone selling that R6. Like, I found that R6, 790 miles on it, pristine, in the exact color scheme that I wanted, which is a fairly rare color scheme, and I got it. And it was, I remember first picking that bike up, I was just laughing all the way home, just like I had achieved something that I worked really, really hard for. And in the, I guess, early morning of October 11th, or very late, no, definitely early morning, October 11th, some lowlives, some scumbags, some pieces of human garbage went into my driveway and took the bike. It was locked up, it was facing the wall. You know, so I mean, they definitely knew what they were doing. So I think they took 3 other bikes that night, and just all around this week has been very hot on motorcycle thefts. I busted my ass for that bike. That was my dream bike. I took care of it. I made sure, like, I put paint protection film on the nose. I did the oil change myself. I bought all these nice parts that I never even got to put on, just for it to be stolen. So I guess that's kind of what this video is about. I'm kind of just, I kind of just have to put it on record, just to capture, like, everything that's going through my head. I've been a mess, dude. I've been an absolute wreck. And I know some people are like, oh, dude, it's just a motorcycle. Like, you can get another one. Like I understand, you know, I can get another motorcycle, and I can go fast, and a motorcycle is a motorcycle. But that was really my first motorcycle. I had the Kawasaki ZX6R, but the thing had 13,000 miles on it. You know, it was like, I learned on it. I ran that thing hard. I beat the shit out of that bike. That bike beat the shit out of me. But this R6 was really like, this is the exact bike I want. I'm going to focus on it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to mod it. It was going to be a big project. I was going to keep that bike forever. And it's just very disappointing to see that it didn't work out like that. It's more the principle of finding something you really, really want, and pretty much focusing all your time, well, not all, but focusing so much of your time and your effort and your resources to getting it, and you finally achieve it, for it to just be ripped away by someone who doesn't deserve it. You know, I'm not saying I deserve that bike, but I certainly worked my ass off for that bike. Dude, I don't even know where to go from here. I don't want to live in my house anymore. You know, I don't want to park there. I don't want to have anything nice around that area, because I know those scumbags know where that is. You know, those same guys will probably be making rounds, or have been making rounds for a while, trying to figure out who has what, and, you know, what they're going to steal. The amount of recovered motorcycles, the percent of motorcycles that get stolen and then recovered, is very, very low. Especially in New York City, where they either chop it up and part it out, or they'll, I don't know, paint the bike a different color. There are so many people in New York City, and it's such a big city that it's very hard to be hopeful that we'll find anything, and it's even harder to be hopeful that we're going to find anything anytime soon. The only thing I can really hope for is, like, I get a name and an address so I can talk to this scumbag, or at the very least that they're going fast and they wreck and they just are paralyzed from the neck down, and they have to sit there and think about how much of a scumbag they are. Like, I'm angry. I'm angry, I'm disappointed, I'm sad. I feel like a lot of my my worldview has been based on like everyone is good, and if you're good, then good things will happen to you. You know, and I guess it's a very naive way to look at things, but I try to live like that. I try to be like a good person to everyone that I meet. I try to walk into a situation and make it better for everyone. It's just like a kick in the nuts when you realize that just because you play by that set of rules, or just because you live by that set of values, not everyone does. And I have to say, like, a majority of people that I know, that I've met, that I've come across, have been wonderful human beings. I've let myself forget that there are some serious scumbags in the world. And I know it could have been worse. They could have broken into my house. They could have jumped me, whatever. But at the same time, it's just the idea. It's the idea that just because you are a good person, just because you do everything by the book, not it's like, I mean, I don't do many things by the book, and I'm not the best person I know, but just the fact that I can put my heart and soul into something just for it to be taken away, it's like, I don't even know what to do with that. So yeah, I owned the R6. It's fucking heartbreaking, dude. Like, I just got the title last month. Like, I got a letter in the mail, and it was like DMV, and I thought it was another speeding ticket. And I open it, and it's the title to my bike, and it was just like, this is officially my bike. And it just got stolen, you know? I owned that thing for less than 7 months. And in less than 7 months, I put 3,000 miles on that thing. I rode it everywhere, through the city, to Long Island, anywhere and everywhere that I could, I rode that thing. And it's a goddamn shame. It is a goddamn shame that yeah. What I can say is I posted it on Instagram, because I don't know how long it will take the police to do anything about it. I mean, they were at my house. They said, oh, we've been canvassing the area and getting reports from other stolen motorcycles. But I put it on social media, I put it on Instagram, and the post blew up. You know, it's been shared over 100 times. I think over 200 now. It's been seen by a couple thousand people from what I saw in the analytics. So there are a lot of eyes looking for this thing, and like, people I don't know, people I've never met, are reposting it. People I've never met are messaging me saying, yo, I think I may have seen it. People who I've never met are contacting people who I know, like a friend of a friend type of situation. And it's very humbling, and it's very touching, and that kind of restores, I guess that's the silver lining in that, is that everyone taking action to find this thing is a good reminder that more often than not, people are decent. People will go out of their way to look for something that's not theirs to help a fellow human being. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get her back. It's like a whole different feeling of violation when someone walks into your driveway, literally a few feet away from where you sleep, and they just take something that belongs to you, that you hold dearly. I'm working on getting a new bike now. I paid off my car. ASA, the WRX, is officially paid off as of yesterday, October 14th. So, you know, that kind of frees up some budget to put into a new bike. I don't even know what I'm going to get yet. I have plans. But as far as R6 content, I had a few people comment, yo, I want to see more moto vlogs in New York City. Believe me, I would too. But I don't know when I'll be able to pick that back up. So if you guys have any information on how I can find a stolen motorcycle, if you happen to see a motorcycle like mine on like Facebook Marketplace, let me know. If you were a fan of the R6, I'm sorry. I was a fan of the R6. I still am a fan of the R6. I miss my bike a lot. Like on days like this where it's nice, it's not too hot, you know, it would be perfect to just ride around. Literally every night since the bike has gotten stolen, I'll lay awake and I'll just hear bikes on the highway just flying. And I'm like, part of me is like, wow, I wish I could be there. But also another part of me is like, one of those has to be my bike, you know? It's heartbreaking. It's been a very, very hard week. I guess I got to get back on my hustle. I got to get back on my grind and start working my ass off again for the next bike. I have an idea of what bike I want. So yeah.